Hey you, I saw you from the distance.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Live a Thousand Lives. My name's Janaea. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you've been coming around for a while, thanks so much for joining me once again. Today we're going to be going over my Newts Tbr. I'm so excited for this. I am studying my Newts to be a wand maker. So I already did my owls. I need to do my newts, which this is what I need to do for my newts. So for my newts, I need an O in herbology, an E in care of magical creatures, and an A in charms. However, your girl is trying to be extra, and I want to do the prompts for ancient runes and arithmancy as well. So we're going to go over all the books that I have on this TBR. So for herbology, to get an A in herbology, you have to read an audiobook. I'm going to be listening to Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I'm really excited. Those audiobooks are great. To get an E in herbology, I need to read a book between 350 and 390 pages. For this, I'm going with An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. This has 352 pages, so perfect, yay. So that's what I'm reading. I'm not sure what this is about, to be honest with you. I've just heard amazing things about it, so I want to read it. To get an O in herbology, I have to read a book with a flower on the cover. For this, I'm going with Backstagers Volume 3. I'm so excited, and there's flowers on the cover. I saw that and I was so happy because I really wanted to get a couple graphic novels in here, and Backstagers was definitely on my list. So that is what I'll be reading for flower on the cover. And I have to get an O in herbology, so I have to read those 3 books. Care of Magical Creatures, I only need an E in Care of Magical Creatures, but I'm going to shoot for an O. So in Care of Magical Creatures, to get an A, I need to read a book that starts with the letter A. And for this, I'm going with All the Water in the World by Karen Rainey. This is an advanced reader's copy. It does not come out until August 6th. I wanted to read this last month and couldn't fit it in. So I am going to read it this month and review it, and I'm so excited. I'm not really sure what it's about. It seems like it's more of like a coming of age story and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to read this. Now, to get an E in Care of Magical Creatures, I need to read a book under 300 pages. For this, I'm going with Girls Made of Stars by Aisling Herring Blake. This book has 289 pages, so perfect for a read-a-thon. I'm hoping to really like it. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, so I'm so excited to read it. And to get an O in Care of Magical Creatures, I have to read a book with a bird on the cover. Now, I'm cheating just a tiny bit. I'm going to read Princeless Raven the Pirate Princess graphic novel. Now, it does have the wingspan of a raven on it, so I'm counting it, and it says raven. So I'm counting this as bird on the cover. The next one is Charms, and I only need an A in Charms, but I'm gonna try my best to go for, a heck of a ton. To get an A in Charms, I have to read a gorgeous cover. And for that, I'm going to read Lumberjanes Volume 11. I think this cover is stunning. I love the bubbles and the colors. I think this is gorgeous. So I'm going to be reading Lumberjanes Volume 11, Time After Crime. Looks so good. I love me some Lumberjanes. An E in Charms, I have to read a graphic novel. Heck yes, man. For this, I'm going with Moonstruck Volume 2. So excited. I loved Volume 1 of Moonstruck, so I'm really excited to read Volume 2. To get an O in Charms, I need to read a paperback. So for this, I'm going to read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertelli. Now, this was a TBR pick for me, my game pick, So I'm hoping that putting it in the readathon will help me read it. Because I'm crazy, I'm going to try to do Ancient Runes as well. So to get an A in Ancient Runes, I have to read a book that was recommended to me by a friend. So for this, I'm going with Seafire by Natalie C. Parker because my son chose it for me. So in a way, he kind of recommended it for me, you know? Kind of cheating maybe, but so this is what I'll be reading for Ancient Runes to get an A. This was also part of the game, my TBR game. So to get an E, you have to read a book written in past tense. So the only thing I could really find was Saga Volume 1. This is written in, some parts are written in past tense, because the narrator is the young baby telling the story. So I am going to be reading Saga Volume 1. For an O in Ancient Runes, that is a TBR vet. And for this, I'm going to be finishing The Book Thief. I know. Finally. I'm only on page 125. There is over 552. So I'm not that far. So I'm going to finish this for Ancient Runes, which I'm excited because it is like a historical fiction, and I think that fits in perfectly with Ancient Runes. So the last 3 books that I have to read for this is for arithmetic, and to get an A in arithmetic, I have to read a book that ends on an even number. For this, I'm going with Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This was also a TBR game pick for me. It does end on page 418, but that means it ends on an even, so this is what I'm going for an A in arithmetic. To get an E in arithmetic, you have to read a standalone. For this, I'm going with A Live Wire by Harlan Coben. This was also a TBR pick for me. I'm super excited to read this one. I'm not really sure what it's about, but I love Harlan Coben, so yes. And the last one is to get an O in arithmetic, is longer than 350 pages. For this, I'm going with Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. So, I didn't read this one last month. I'm going to give it a shot. I have like all of the books of the first 4 books in the series, so I really need to read the first one. Also for the Newts Tbr, I am going to be reading the restricted section, or the group book, which is Spellslinger. I'm really excited to read Spellslinger. I've been dying to read that book. Those are the books I am reading for the Newts Magical Read-A-Thon. I am so excited for this read-a-thon. These read-a-thons, the magical read-a-thons, are my favorite. G does an amazing job. If you do not know who G is, or you do not know anything about the magical read-a-thon, I will leave G's information down below for you. She is amazing. She deserves all the love. So please go check her out. And also, I will leave the link to my video either in the card or down below for my TBR game, in case you're like, what is she talking about? So that is everything. I am so excited to do this read-a-thon. Oh my goodness. Remember guys, a reader lives 1,000 lives, and so can you. So keep on reading. Remember to love one another. Bye.